Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, your favorite tarot reader, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what have they recently noticed about you. I'll try to be as accurate as I can, but it is a bit tricky when reading for the collective. If you want something more personal, you can always check in with the psychic for a more in-depth description. Speaking of which, I tried a clairvoyant from Psychic Source, and yes, they're sponsoring today's video. Thank you, Psychic Source. I got matched with a clairvoyant through their site, and honestly, I wasn't expecting her to be that accurate. I gave her no personal info, just asked about my future love life, and somehow she instantly picked up that I'm already in a relationship. She literally said, "Why are you asking about the future without mentioning him?" I was literally speechless, but then I remembered that's kind of what I do too. Still a shocking experience to be on the receiving end of it. She described my future partner as someone who makes me really happy, with great communication and a bond that can handle anything. But the part that really stuck with me, she said she saw my future husband giving me purple flowers. A few weeks later, nothing happened, so I kind of forgot about it. Then we saw a tattoo promo on Instagram. My boyfriend sent me his ideas so I can book, and boom, a purple flower. Not a bouquet, but I'm definitely taking that as a sign. You can chat with gifted advisors however you're most comfortable, phone, video, or even text. Setting up my account on their website was super easy, and they have this quick little quiz that helps you find a psychic based on what you're looking for, whether it's love, past lives, energy readings, whatever. It made the whole process really personal and intentional. What sets them apart is the level of care and integrity. Only 2% of their applicants actually become advisors, so you know you're speaking to someone who's truly gifted and held to high ethical standards. And they back everything up with a no risk guarantee. If you're not happy with your last paid reading, it's free. For a limited time, you can use my code Siren at psychicsource.com when checking out, or you can just click the link in my description box below at trypsychicsource.com/siren. You'll get up to 40 minutes with an advisor for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. You don't have to use it all in one session. You can spread those minutes out across multiple advisors to see who you truly resonate with. They also donate 1% of your purchase to charity at no extra cost to you. Oh, and yes, I do get paid for this promo, so when you sign up with Psychic Source, you're feeding a perpetually hungry, slightly dramatic psychic, that'd be me, and funding my next impulsive crystal purchase. As you can see, the channel needs some new crystals, but that's all for now. Thank you again to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. So getting back to your pile selection, for pile 1, we have Howlite with the 7 of Cups reverse. Then for pile 2, we have the Fairy Crystal with the Tower. And for pile 3, we have Fluorite with the Moon. So take a look at the pile you're most drawn to, and that will be a pile for today. Or you can choose your pile based off your or their zodiac sign. And the zodiac signs are in the thumbnail. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, then I'll see you at your reading. Hi pile 1, if you chose the Howlite crystal and the 7 of Cups reverse, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what have they recently noticed about you for the person on your mind. Please be aware that this is a general reading, so only take what resonates, leave the rest. And you can keep this person in mind while I shuffle your cards, just so that I get their energy specifically. So spirit guides of pile 1, please tap me into the energy of my pile 1s and the person on their mind. And please show me, what has this person noticed about pile 1 recently? What have they noticed about pile 1 recently? So we have the Two of Cups showing up reverse. We have the Ace of Cups upright. And we have the Strength card. What they have noticed recently about you is that you have not really detached from them, but you're kind of putting more energy into yourself right now. And there's something about just prioritizing yourself right now in some way, shape, or form, where you're sort of paying less attention to them and putting your focus off of them and onto yourself. This person is noticing this, but they don't know if it's because of something they did or said that sort of made you not necessarily detach from them, but start putting your focus back on yourself and off them. They're trying to not overthink because I kind of feel anxiety in my chest. So maybe they are feeling anxious about this, worrying if they did something to sort of make you pull your energy back. But they also don't want to worry too much about it because they're thinking in their mind, like maybe you're just busy right now. Maybe you just have a lot to focus on in regards to yourself right now. So that was coming through immediately for me. I see you doing like things for yourself in regards to your beauty. Like I see someone curling their hair a certain way and maybe it's different from before. I see someone just like investing more time into makeup, skincare, buying new clothes, whatever it is, you've been investing time into your appearance or into self-care. And this person has noticed that about you recently, where you just seem to be, again, putting that energy back into yourself. And I guess with that, this person has noticed that like people are more magnetized and drawn to you at the moment because of not just what you're doing with your beauty routine or with your style or whatever. And this isn't just for women, but for men too. So take it how it resonates for you. But there's also something about you just having this glow to you recently because of the fact that you're pouring back into you before you pour into others. I think this person is trying to not take this personally and trying to not think it's them. They suspect that perhaps you're just trying to pour into you so that you can overflow onto others with the Ace of Cups here and not pour from an empty cup. Maybe you have given so selflessly to others so much before and now you're changing that energy around and first pouring into you, then you can pour out onto others before you get drained so that you don't get drained. So I see you going through situations where people almost project onto you, are rude to you in some way. Like I feel like a lot of people have kind of just put nasty energies onto you, and you were so shocked and surprised by it in a more negative way. I see you kind of like crying and trying to pick yourself back up in some way, which makes sense that the Strength card is here because that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. I see like somebody crying, putting on their makeup and trying to almost make themselves feel better in some way. And then I see them finally finding that inner joy again, finally finding that inner spark again and not letting anybody dim that or take that away from them in some way. I see someone that isn't fake smiling or trying to seem happy when they're not, but trying to pick themselves back up from maybe a low place emotionally and genuinely find that happiness within and come back out on the other side with this big, genuine smile and happiness that won't falter or break at the hands of another or be stolen away at the hands of another. I see you relaxing a lot more, turning off your phone. Again, like doing self-care, something about that is coming through in terms of what they've noticed recently. You also just seem a lot more in touch with your own inner strength and power. you seem to be getting in touch with a spicier side of yourself with the strength card here. I'm seeing that like this inner strength, and I'm hearing revolutionary energy where you don't let people have power over you anymore. It's kind of like you're just not letting people treat you anyway now. You're standing up for yourself. You're fighting back in some way. You're not making yourself small or letting people just walk all over you anymore. So there's definitely something about you finding your inner strength and power, taking your power back. Now, there is also something about indecisiveness here. Perhaps you have many things to do, many responsibilities to fulfill or, look after in some way. And it's kind of like you're unsure what your priority is. So now you're just making your own priority you at the moment, because it feels like you're kind of overwhelmed by how much there is to do, that it's like you don't know what to do first. So maybe you're trying to kind of reorganize your life in some way. That could be literally or like metaphorically, where you're kind of like trying to figure out what your priorities are, what's most important first, so that you're not feeling scatterbrained, so that your focus is not scattered in some way. And that's the main message that's coming through here from the Seven of Cups reverse. Also trying to become more decisive overall and pick an outcome or an option instead of just being unsure the whole time, doubting yourself the whole time. I feel like you guys have doubted yourself a lot, but you're trying not to. You haven't fully gotten out of that energy, but I guess you're kind of reflecting on it and about to take action on it, and this person sees that. So what else have they recently noticed? We have the Page of Cups showing up reverse. We have the Ace of Swords showing up reverse. What have they recently noticed about pile 1? Person on their mind. The Two of Wands reverse. There's something about growing up here. It's almost like this person once saw you in this energy where you weren't immature, but maybe you were a little bit naive, maybe a little bit more softer. But now it's kind of like you're taking your power back. You're becoming a woman or a man. You're just maturing and growing in a way. And it's almost like this person is seeing how you're becoming more responsible. You're growing up in some way. There's just something about seeing a shift in your energy lately about how much you've grown and matured. And it's almost like they're taken aback by it and surprised by it in a good way. Not that they didn't expect it. I think they did, but it sort of feels like a big shift in a short amount of time. For some of you, not all, this person may have recently noticed a lie of yours. If this is applicable, only take it. If it doesn't apply, don't take it. Ignore the message. The Ace of Swords reverse can sometimes represent lies. And I'm asking Spirit, is this a literal lie? And I'm seeing you maybe hide something or tell like a little white lie or give like an excuse, but that excuse is not real. Out of like a place of discomfort, not wanting to tell the person the truth. And I think this person suspected that you were lying, and I don't know if they found proof of it, but there's something about like seeing the lie or suspecting that you're not telling the truth in that situation. But it doesn't feel like something big where you're being deceitful. It feels like a small white lie or like an excuse. Like, let's say this person asked you to hang out on a specific day and you said you're busy that day, but you weren't. Something like that, something small. That's what I see. There's also something about getting more comfortable with receiving things from others, with receiving help from others. Maybe some of you used to be very hyper independent, or you didn't allow others to help you or to give to you in any way because you felt bad. Maybe you were like in this very humble energy where you just didn't want to make yourself a burden to others. But now recently, like you've been allowing others to help you. You've been allowing others to give to you. And it's just making you seem overall just more magnetic. I feel like recently you've been tapping into your magnetic power, self-love. Maybe in the past you had a lot of insecurities that hold you back. Maybe you still have these insecurities, but it seems like you're trying to work through your own self-perception and change the way you see yourself in some way. Maybe lately you also seem a lot more serious about your goals. Not yet taking action, but sort of planning, thinking about where you want to be, finding clarity. Because with the Ace of Swords reverse, Seven of Cups reverse, it's kind of like before we can take action, I need to figure out where I want to be. I need to figure out what my goals are. I need to figure out where I want to be in 10 years before I can even start taking action. And maybe you're in that phase right now because I see you not taking action yet and just trying to find clarity and trying to clear the confusion on where you want to be in the future. So perhaps you've been doing a lot of self-reflection on your future and what path you want to take. I'm seeing an owl in my mind's eye, so even though this person sees you as a little bit indecisive at times, there's still something about this person knowing and trusting that your inner wisdom will guide you to the right path that's meant for you and designed for you. And that as you take that path and as you take steps towards it, opportunities will follow and come naturally. There's something about you being more private and to yourself lately, not really sharing what you're doing or what you're planning or what you're thinking. It kind of just seems like you're more to yourself these days. You're not really sharing things. You're not really being vulnerable or like sharing secrets. There's something just about more privacy here. Like covering yourself from the world in some way. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Five of Pentacles. Okay, I don't know if some of you have been recently feeling resentful of the fact that other people constantly expect the most from you because, like I said, you've always been this giving person, and it's confirmed here with the Six of Pentacles. This talks about generosity, but it also talks about equal giving and receiving. However, with the Devil, the Five of Wands reversed at the back of the deck, this could indicate some kind of resentment from constantly being the one giving and never receiving anything back with the Five of Pentacles. Your needs are pushed to the side. Maybe you have neglected yourself for a while, like your own physical, mental, emotional needs to fulfill the needs of other people, but where does it get poured back into you? And if you have been feeling resentful lately, maybe that's why you've been pouring back into you so that you can kind of give to others from a full cup and not neglect your own needs. But if you've also been feeling resentful of the fact that other people aren't pouring into you the same way you're pouring into them, maybe this person is noticing you kind of pull back from certain people or them, and perhaps for some of you, you've been showing a little bit of passive aggressiveness, not telling them how you truly feel, and they want you to be honest and just tell them how you feel, don't hold back. Even if it's a little bit ugly, like the truth, they'd prefer the truth over passive aggressiveness. However, if this person were to read between the lines, they would be able to see that maybe you're pulling back to see if they give back to you, to see if it's one-sided. Or if it's with other people, then maybe they're noticing that with other people if it's not them. So take it how it resonates here. Now I'm going to remove these cards and I'm going to channel some information of whatever comes through for what they've noticed. I'm going to write it down on a paper for you guys, just to end out the reading to get some channeled messages. So I'm not going to fill the whole page, but I'll see how much information I get, and I'll just channel. So Spirit, show me what have they noticed recently about pile number 1. Someone is reading a lot more or going back to studies, because I'm seeing like a library or bookshelf. So maybe someone is working on their intelligence in some way, like gaining more knowledge. Maybe somebody has been thinking of going back to school or spending more time on their studies if you're already like in college or university or something, or taking courses. I see somebody baking a lot more and like baking cakes, cookies, cupcakes, even bread. Like maybe some of you are like going back to hobbies that you enjoy, that bring you peace. I'm seeing Gemini energy in my mind's eye. This could be your sign, their sign. And I'm also seeing someone just be a lot more honest with their opinions on things. So let's say you think something is wrong. You're being vocal about it. Maybe in the past you would be like sort of agreeable in a way that's almost people-pleasy. So, with what we spoke about in the cards and with that message, maybe some of you are getting rid of people-pleasing habits. And just being more honest with your opinion. Not blunt in a way, but just honest. Like, I don't think this is right. I think this is wrong. Something like that. Maybe there's something about becoming more high maintenance as well. Being like, I don't like this treatment. Give me this instead. Kind of like that energy. I'm also hearing protect your peace. And being more honest. Something about reflexes is coming through. Like, let's say someone throws you something, you're like quick to catch it. Something about some of you maybe being more on edge lately. I also heard the word reactive. And someone is like paying more attention to their mental health lately. In whatever way that means to you, whether that's going to therapy, like I said, doing self-care, journaling. I keep seeing like self-care in my mind's eye. Now I'm seeing, earlier I was seeing like someone do like a lot of beauty rituals, things like that, routines. Now I'm seeing like someone put those eye patches on. So self-care keeps coming up. I see the word free and I see someone reconnecting with nature a lot more. I also think with me seeing nature, I could point towards earth sign energy, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. I was going to say Aquarius and Libra as well. There's this diva energy that's coming out in a good way. Again, like becoming more high maintenance, like being comfortable with asking for more. And it's not coming from like this entitled place, but it's coming from the place of like, I give so much, I should be allowed to ask for more. Like, I can give myself so much, I should be allowed to ask for more than the bare minimum. I'm seeing someone here that has a baby infant, and this baby is not using dummies as much anymore. So maybe something about like your baby going through like different infant stages. I don't really know, but yeah, I'm seeing, I don't have kids, so I don't know like how it works, but I hope you get what I mean. I'm also seeing someone apply serums to their face. So maybe there's some kind of like thing to do with the beauty showing up like consistently where you're glowing up in some way. Because it keeps showing up even in the beginning. Like when I close my eyes, I keep seeing beauty, glow ups, someone doing self care. So that message is emphasized. I won't mention it again because it can get a little bit annoying repeating the same message, but it is emphasized, yeah. I'm also seeing Aries energy in my mind's eye. And I'm seeing a sign that like is going in different directions and it's like spinning around in some way. So again, there's like some kind of confusion around the direction you want to go in. I hear someone here is becoming a lot more talkative. Okay, someone here, this isn't for everybody, this is for someone specific. Someone here, trigger warning, has been showing a lot more appreciation to others lately. And this is not just regular appreciation. This is the type of energy of like, I don't think I'm gonna live longer. Um, Trigger warning, like suicidal thoughts, suicidal plans. If someone has been making some kind of like plan around that and like being nicer to people around you, being more appreciative, giving them gifts, giving them your things. Like maybe someone's noticing that and is trying to plan to almost talk you out of doing that. And if you are planning to do that, then I know it doesn't help me saying please don't do it, but someone is noticing this and wants you to live and wants you to stay, and it breaks their heart that you feel so depressed or hopeless that you feel like this is the only way to kind of like be happy or let go. You know, I've been in that place before where I've reflected on those kind of thoughts, and I'm glad I'm still alive today. Sometimes we're in this place where we think there's no hope, where we think that this is just the end, but I promise you, if you hold on to hope, you will see that life will get better slowly but surely, maybe not immediately, and you will be grateful that you've held on when you see later on like how good your life gets or what basically happens in your life that makes you feel like I'm glad I stayed. So I think that's where I'm going to end your reading. I do hope this reading resonated with you. You're more than welcome to take a screenshot of this if you want. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave your reading. If you'd like, you can sign up to my membership. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Hi Paltu, if you chose the Fairy Crystal and the Tower card, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what have they recently noticed about you for the person on your mind. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest, and you can keep this person in mind while I shuffle your cards, just so that I can get their energy specifically for you. So, Spirit Guides of Pile 2, please tap me into the energy of the person on their mind. Please show me what have they recently noticed about my Pile 2s. What have they recently noticed about my Pile 2s? So we have the Knight of Cups. We have Judgment showing up reverse. And we have the Nine of Cups showing up reverse. So the tower can represent you going through situations in your life that may seem unfavorable in the moment. The tower represents chaos, destruction, something falling apart in some way. And this could look different for all of you. For some of you, this could be like not being in a good place mentally, emotionally. For some of you, this could be you going through a loss or grief or something. Maybe for some of you, it's like tied to your circumstances. Like, let's say you got fired, or something is kind of just showing up here where it's like maybe you're not in the best place and this person is noticing it. I do think that they want to support you through this, and I do think that they're watching you closely to see how you're doing. They want to show you care in little ways of acts of service, like making your life a little bit easier, taking stress off your shoulders. I see someone like making you food to make you feel better, like comfort food. It doesn't have to be that, but I think this person wants to show you some kind of support through acts of service and through just like watching you and making sure you're okay. I think this person is worried about you, but they see the light at the end of the tunnel. They see that you will get through this and that you're not going through this alone. However, a big annoyance for some of you may be that when you're going through things, other people tend to treat you in this like tender way, almost treat you like you're fragile. And some of you don't like that. Some of you don't like feeling like other people are treating you like a victim, or even just feeling embarrassed knowing that other people know what's going on in your life with judgment reverse. Like, when we're going through something and people spread gossip rumors and like they're all just talking about it, and then they all just try to almost like, there's nothing wrong with people acting nice towards you, but it's kind of like this energy of treating you like you're fragile, and maybe you don't want to be treated with, not with you want to be treated with sympathy, but maybe you don't want to be treated like people feel sorry for you in some way. Like, you don't want to feel pitied in some way. That's the kind of vibe or energy I get. Yeah, you don't mind people showing you sympathy, empathy. You actually love it and love that people care for you, but you don't like the pity, and you don't like feeling embarrassed and like everybody knowing your business and gossiping about the situation you're going through. So perhaps this person is noticing that and is trying to change this energy around for you by not showing you pity, but showing you empathy, and by genuinely supporting you and being there for you in some way, shape, or form. They don't know what you want though, with the Nine of Cups reverse, and they've kind of been reflecting on what can I do to support pile 2. But I don't really know what they want from me. Like, I'm scared I accidentally do the wrong thing and they think I'm part of this group that's pitying them, or, treating them like this just because I feel sorry for them. I think that some people are like that, and I think this person's kind of like trying to almost push those people away, or tell them to know their place in some way. I don't know, like something like that's coming through, where I think they may be telling people to kind of just not leave you alone, but be mindful of how they're coming across, because maybe too many people coming up to you and asking you if you're okay can feel a little bit overwhelming in some way and actually make you feel worse than better. Does that make sense? I don't think they're telling people to leave you alone. It's not coming through like that, but I hope you get what I mean. And they're just like reflecting on what you need or want in this moment, because they're not really sure how they can support you, or like what kind of support you would need, whether you would need to vent to somebody, talk it out, hugs, affection, whether you would just want them to like let you process it on your own. They kind of want to ask you what you need, what you want, like how can I support you in some way. Maybe some of you have been in this rut for a while now with Temperance reverse at the back of the deck, and this person isn't impatient with the process of you healing, because they understand that sometimes certain things take time to heal from and to Like, not everybody's gonna bounce back in one day from something traumatic or something we've been through. And this person understands. But they've noticed that you've kind of been in this rut for like a while now, with Temperance reverse at the back of the deck. So let me pull some more cards. So we have the Ten of Wands showing up reverse. We have the Page of Wands showing up reverse. The Temperance card showing up reverse. And we have the Eight of Cups. I think a lot of you are in this transitional period of your life right now, where you're kind of like in the in-between stage of who you're becoming and who you once were. Who you once were is now a ghost, is now dead, I want to say, like no longer here with us. And who you will be is not here yet. Kind of reminding me of that song by Britney Spears, not a girl, not yet a woman. Like this transitional phase where we're not yet that version of ourselves and we're not that past version of ourselves, and we're kind of like in that in-between limbo stage where we don't know who we are. So something about finding yourself again. In the beginning of your reading, I heard finding yourself, but this is about finding yourself again. Like finding this version of you right now. Does that make sense? That's what I see. Maybe a lot of you are feeling confused with who you are right now. Again, like trying to figure out who you are right now, trying to figure out your identity at the moment and who you want to be. With that, I think you're letting go of whatever just isn't resonating with you at the moment, whether it's hobbies, people in your life that just don't fit in your life anymore, a job, dreams that just don't align anymore. Whatever it is, you're changing in some way, you're letting go, you're purging, you're releasing certain emotions. And sometimes that takes time, and that's okay. But I do think you're in this phase of letting go emotionally, to letting go of what's mentally, emotionally draining, not serving you in some way. I don't know why. I never looked at this Eight of Cups card this way, but for you specifically, it's reminding me of the Hermit mixed with the Eight of Cups. So again, like talking about self-reflection, going within, yet also releasing and letting go at the same time as you're doing that. It kind of feels like you're in the dark right now. You don't know where you're going or where you're headed. You're in that cocoon phase where you haven't yet turned into the butterfly, and you're stepping into the unknown. You're curious as to what's next for you. And as you're in the dark, you know that the light is guiding you in some way, and that the light is at the end of the tunnel, but you just don't know where it is always. I'm getting this feeling of like the moon always moving, and we have to like find the light again as we're in this period of darkness. So I'm getting that metaphorically. This person has noticed that you've been kind of distant lately. You haven't been talking as much. Maybe you haven't been tending to certain responsibilities like you normally would, and this person doesn't expect you to, but they have been noticing that like you haven't been able to have like the focus on your responsibilities, and this person doesn't mind picking it up for you in the moment if it's going to help you, like helping you with certain responsibilities, helping you do certain things, and giving you that sort of grace. They're okay with that, but that's basically what they've noticed recently. I think a lot of you lost your spark and you're looking for it again. You don't know where it is, but you're looking for it again. I'm seeing a swan in my mind's eye. The swan is often seen as a symbol of wisdom, according to Google, and includes awakening of power of the self, balance, grace, inner beauty, innocence, self-esteem, seeing into the future, understanding spiritual evolution, developing intuitive abilities, grace in dealing with others, and commitment. So those can be themes showing up for you right now. We have the Magician showing up reverse, we have the Fool showing up reverse, and we have the Eight of Swords upright. Something about like learning to manage your time in a more efficient way. Especially right now where you're like going through something and maybe you just have like a lot of responsibilities, maybe not enough time or energy to deal with all of it. So maybe you're trying to do things in sort of like a fast, efficient way, not focusing too much on being perfect or making the result of whatever task you're doing perfect, but just getting it done so that things aren't piling up in some way. I'm seeing a dog in my mind's eye, so this could either be about your literal dog, like maybe you've been like being affectionate with your dog lately, like taking your dogs on walks lately, maybe you got a new dog, or this could represent something like metaphoric in a way. So the dog is a symbol of loyalty and unconditional love. I just want to go on Google and see what else it means. They also represent protection, providing constant safety to those it loves, and unwavering devotion and genuine compassion. So maybe that's them towards you, like showing you loyalty, showing you unconditional love, devotion, compassion. Maybe that's their feelings towards you at the moment. They notice that you're feeling stuck at the moment with the Eight of Swords and you don't know how to get out. But again, they see a light at the end of the tunnel. They see that even if you don't see this new beginning, it is coming. And like I said, are in that cocoon phase. Often the caterpillar can't see that it's about to become the butterfly as it's in the cocoon. It just sees darkness around it. So it's kind of like I'm seeing that metaphorically for you, where you're in that phase where I'm hearing that song, The Light is Coming, Ariana Grande. She speaks about like the light is coming, replacing what the darkness stole, something along those lines. I could be wrong about the exact lyrics, but that's what I see and hear. Yeah, Ace of Wands reversed at the back of the deck could represent like some kind of lack of motivation, energy, drive at the moment. And it's because most of your energy is going towards just surviving and being okay, and that's okay. So now I'm going to remove these cards because we see a general consistent theme here, and I'm going to do some last bit of channeling and see what I can channel just clairvoyantly to see what they've been noticing, and then we're going to end off there. So don't mind the first half of the page, that was Pile 1's energy. So Spirit, show me, what have they recently noticed about Pile 2? What have they recently noticed? So I'm seeing someone put out a fire, which is making me think it's not literal, it's metaphoric. You're having like metaphoric fires in your life, chaotic moments with a tower, and you're trying to just put it all out. And again, I spoke about being in survival mode right now, where you're just trying to survive right now. You're just trying to pick yourself back up and be okay in some way. And that is okay. It's perfectly normal to go through those phases in life sometimes. And I think this person understands and has compassion, but I think they've sort of been observing where you're at lately because they have been worried about you. So sort of just dealing with putting out the chaos. So I see someone making choices every day, little things that are going to make them happy. Whether it's you getting your favorite coffee, you treating yourself, like once a day to something that just makes you happy. Watching your favorite movie, your comfort movie. I see you making choices that bring happiness your way, even if it's just a small amount of joy or dopamine. Something about that is coming through, and it's like you're choosing happiness even though you're going through a tough situation right now. Even if it's hard to find that joy within, you're choosing the happiness. I see someone like doing romantic gestures for you. This could either be this person or another person. I see someone like taking your hand and kissing it and just being very romantic with you. Now I'm seeing a vision of Snow White where she's offered the poisonous apple and then she passes away in some way, but then she comes back to life like as a more fierce, darker, feminine version of herself in this vision I'm seeing, and she sort of breaks the evil queen's neck. So I know that's a little bit like vulgar to say, a little bit violent, the vision I'm seeing, but I think this is a message of rebirth, kind of reclaiming the dark feminine, dark masculine version of yourself. And there's something about protecting oneself. There could also be a theme of revenge here. And this doesn't have to be literal revenge, but this could be like you bettering your life to sort of show the people F you, like the people that sort of put you down in some way. Or maybe you're rebirthing and killing off the part of yourself that once was in those kind of themes, if that makes sense. So something about that's coming through here. I think a lot of you are in the stage of processing your anger. Because I'm seeing someone like feel like they're mistreated by the whole world and eventually snap in some way. So there's something about like processing your anger and maybe even defending yourself, standing up for yourself. That did come up in part 1 too. Now I'm hearing that song, I Miss the Rage, and I'm seeing like an angry bunny with like sharp razor teeth. So there's a more like fierce, dangerous side of you coming out. Again, like dark feminine, masculine energy. A side of you that's like more protective, more fierce, more dominant, if that makes sense. But it's not in a bad way. I see someone getting back in touch with their creativity, with art, painting. And then I also see the protection rune, this one. So maybe there's something about energetic protection too. Or this person's maybe trying to protect you in some way. But if it's energetic protection, then it could be like other people maybe sending you evil eye, negative energy, but it never hits you or affects you. Maybe people get karma very fast. Maybe this person has noticed other people get karma. Now I'm seeing gossip in my mind's eye. So maybe they've noticed other people gossip about you, but I'm also seeing... What was I seeing now? Why did I forget so fast? Show me again, Spirit, please. For some reason I saw a vision, but now it's not coming back to me. But now I'm seeing someone hand out business cards. So maybe someone recently started a business. And I'm seeing someone win. Like, I'm seeing someone do bowling and then win. So I guess that's just metaphoric for winning at something. There's something about other people giving to you and you accepting what they're giving and not just using it on yourself for a short period of time, but taking what they're giving and planting the seeds of what they're giving so that you can grow more of it. So, for example, let's say someone gives you money and you go and invest that money to make more money for yourself so that you don't just spend that money and use that money, so that you can actually like grow that money that they're giving you. Something about that's coming through for someone here. Okay, this is not for everybody because I don't want to spread fear mongering through my messages, but it's what I'm genuinely seeing in my mind's eye. So Spirit, how can I ensure that they know whose message this is for? Who is this message for? This message is for you if you've been experiencing constant bad luck, constant minor inconveniences over and over again, not just like once a day, but like 10 times a day. Someone here could play like some kind of musical instrument. You could have had some kind of romantic or sexual connection with someone that was not so great for you, like a narcissist or something. That could be for someone here. And you could be trying to almost keep like energy vampires out or people that are toxic out. So I see someone here experiencing witchcraft at the hands of another, where someone has been trying to do like spells on you. And only take this message if you see this actively happening in your life. But I see the spell backfiring and hitting them instead. So maybe for some time it hit you and you were taking the bad luck that came along with it. But I see it backfiring now and going back to them. And I see this person either getting very sick or those same things that they wish on you coming to them in some way. And I see them kind of like deteriorating in some way. I don't know if that's literal or just like unraveling mentally, but something about that's coming through. So I do think that since I saw that energetic protection, Spirit is protecting you very heavily from that. So you don't have to worry, but if you can, maybe do some cleansing on yourself, some protection. Whatever energetic protection you can find, do some research online. I'm sure you can find a lot. I see someone going like sledding or skiing in the winter. Or like some kind of winter vacation, like in the snow. Maybe someone posted pictures of that. I also see someone having nice sneakers or shoes. So this person could be noticing your sneakers or shoes. And I also hear the word growth. So this person could be noticing your growth. There's something about resourcefulness coming through. The fact that you're not wasteful. Like, let's say you're cooking something or you're washing dishes. It's like you make sure to use all the product of what you're doing. Or let's say you're putting on face cream. You're not just gonna throw away if there's like still a little bit left. You're gonna use all of it. I see someone like cooking something and taking a lemon and making sure they squeeze all the lemon out so that they're not like wasting. So something about that's coming through. Now to end off, I want to get some zodiac signs. So this could be yours or theirs just for extra confirmation, since I haven't gotten any yet. I'm seeing something to do with social media, like they could be noticing things you're posting on social media. I'm seeing Virgo and Aries. I'm seeing someone step into leadership energy. And I'm seeing someone's perspective change. Either your perspective is changing on life or this person's perspective is changing on you. Something about you buying new things. Show me more zodiac signs, Spirit, please. I'm seeing Cancer, Scorpio. I keep seeing Virgo. First, I was seeing the Virgo symbol. Now I'm seeing the word Virgo. I'm also seeing 5th house energy or Leo energy. I'm hearing respectful, so you could be very respectful towards others. I'm not seeing any more signs. So that is where I'm going to leave the reading. You are more than welcome to screenshot this if you want. So hopefully this resonated for you. Let me know how it resonated down in the comments below. And if you like my readings and you want to see more of them, then you can sign up to my membership. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Hi Pal 3, if you chose the Fluorite crystal and the moon card, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what have they recently noticed about you for the person on your mind. Please be aware that this is a general reading, so only take what resonates, leave the rest, and you can keep this person in mind while I shuffle your cards. So the first thing I'm getting here is something about someone wearing like a lot of neon colors, or just like experimenting with a lot more color, or like maybe experimenting with new styles, like wearing things you would have never worn before. Also, this person notices you being a lot more bubbly lately, a lot more like lighthearted and happy, and just like a lot more talkative and interactive with others. And this is, I think that some of you like were a lot more shy, so maybe this is like a change in your behavior. So spirit guides of Pile 3, please tap me into their energy and the energy of the person on their mind. Please show me what have they recently noticed about Pile 3. We have the 6 of Swords showing up reverse. Okay, I see a specific energy that may not resonate with everybody, but some of you may be asking about someone you're romantically attached to, whether that be a situationship, actual romantic connection. And you know when someone starts to almost not care, where they stop complaining, where they stop, I don't want to say nagging because I hate that word, but it's kind of coming through that way. Like, you know, when a woman stops caring about a man and she stops saying the things she would normally say, she stops complaining, she stops saying what she dislikes, she's just kind of like in her own world, detaching from him. I see that kind of energy, and it doesn't have to be just like based off gender, like a woman or whatever. Take it if it resonates for you, even if you're a man, but there's something about you detaching from this person, and this person is getting caught up thinking that, oh, you've changed and you're no longer like mad at them and you're no longer complaining about little things, and they see it as like a good thing, but they don't realize that that means you no longer care, and that means you're detaching from them. 5 of Cups. Yeah, it's like the sadness, the disappointment has happened too long, like over and over again. It's ongoing, and now you're just detaching from them. Now you just don't care about what they do anymore. Like, if they're going to do something for you, they can. If they don't want to do it, that's also okay. But you're going to take note of that behavior and act accordingly. But you're not going to ask or beg for anything. You're just going to act accordingly. Because maybe you're tired of complaining about the same thing over and over again and talking about the same thing that disappoints you over and over again, to just see no change with the 6 of Swords reversed. So some of you have detached from a person that isn't changing, where you see that change just isn't happening, and you've kind of like released your expectations on this, and maybe you've just become a lot more patient, more tolerant towards them, and they think that's a good thing, but it's actually a bad thing. It just means you're detaching and you don't give a F anymore. Okay, moving on from that energy. because I don't feel like it's for everybody. Unless we see it like come up again and again in the reading as a theme. But moving on, I see someone becoming a lot more softer, like getting in touch with the more gentle side of themselves, becoming a lot more compassionate, emotional, but in a way of like connecting to your emotions more and accepting them without trying to change it or without trying to stop crying. Like you're just accepting your emotional sensitivity, and it's a very beautiful thing to witness because there's something about you getting in touch with your softness and not feeling the need to defend yourself or be harsh in a harsh world. You're kind of letting yourself be soft in a harsh world, not putting yourself in situations around harsh people that are going to make you become a harsh person. Does that make sense? I feel like you're getting in touch with your inner femininity. Whether you are a man or woman, you're just getting in touch with that emotional, soft side of you. Um, so something about that is applicable here for a lot of you. I see this like dark cloud full of rain over you, and then the cloud like disappearing and the sun coming back out. So maybe a lot of you have been in this period of like sadness, disappointment for a long time where it felt like a dark cloud was literally like raining over your head all the time. But maybe something about the sunshine coming back, like you just becoming a lot more bubbly, a lot more happy. Um, yeah, that's definitely what's coming through. I'm happy for you that you're finding your joy again. So, someone has noticed some kind of snarky comment from you or backhanded comment. Or I don't think it's passive aggressiveness, more like a snarky comment. They're wondering why you said that. Only take it if it resonates. Someone here used to always like ask for reassurance, and like you would constantly wonder if somebody hates you, if somebody is like mad at you in the moment, even if they're not mad at you. Like you'd constantly not feel secure within the love, like wondering if the person just stops loving you, or is gonna abandon you, or is mad at you, or is ignoring you, like constantly needing that reassurance. So there's been some kind of change where you've been asking for reassurance less, or you've stopped asking for it altogether. So for some of you, this could be because you're detaching from the person and you no longer care to ask for that reassurance. And for some of you, it's because maybe somebody is treating you really good. And like for some of you, you're being treated really good where you're even getting in touch with your own inner softness, like I said before. Whereas for some of you, it's not because of somebody else's treatments, it's because of how you're treating yourself. So just take it how it resonates. But I see that some of you, it's because you're being treated so well that you don't need to ask for reassurance anymore because you feel more secure in the connection. So there's different variations of energy coming through here. It's kind of like, when you're treated right in a relationship and you start glowing. That's what I see for a lot of you. And maybe for some of you, both resonate, where you were once in a toxic relationship where you were like that. You eventually detached from a person that didn't want to change, and you got into a relationship with somebody that treats you good, that brings out the glow in you, you know? So I'm hearing the word fallacy. Someone tried to, I don't know if it's this person or someone else, but this person's noticing it. Someone tried to point out that an argument or some kind of thing you said didn't have validity to it. They didn't get to see your point or perspective. Your point had validity to it, but maybe this person wasn't able to see it from your perspective or understand. And I think maybe the wording kind of changed the way they saw it, where if it was worded maybe a little bit differently, not your fault, but in a way that they could understand. Maybe they would have seen it differently, but I feel like they just weren't meant to get it. Some people just aren't always going to get your point, and that's okay. That just means that they're maybe not for you. Not everybody's going to like resonate with your opinions or your arguments or what you're saying, and that's okay. Maybe they're just not for you. This person has recently noticed your charm. Some kind of good luck happened to you. I see someone getting in touch with their purpose, destiny. And this person may have recently noticed your depth. Like they knew you were a deep person before, but maybe something you said or did showed even more of your depth, like your inner world. It feels like now they're starting to discover or explore your inner world. We have the Empress showing up reversed. I feel like someone saw you cry or go through something very real. If it's not crying, like you just going through a challenge or whatever, and it's kind of like they saw. It's not like they didn't see you as human before, but they saw the more human side of you, like the less picture perfect side of you and the more human side of you. And I think they had a lot of compassion for you in that moment. And I think they started to see the real you, not just the perfect kind of picture they had in their mind of you. The Empress reverse. Maybe this was like about you talking about insecurities of yours, shortcomings, mistakes. But it kind of like helped them see you differently in a way that was more realistic in a way and less perfect. So 6 of Pentacles, strength. And the Magician reverse. So something about the effort you're giving. This could have to do with your work, the effort you're giving to them. To somebody else has become a lot more stronger and potent. Maybe it's your work, like the quality of your work, for example, where it's become stronger, more efficient in some way, better. Maybe you're becoming more talented. There's something about that that's coming through, but noticing that you're getting stronger at what you're doing, but you're also doubting yourself or letting insecurities get in the way of seeing that. It's like other people see you becoming better, improving yourself slowly but surely, improving the effort you're giving or the quality of effort you're giving to whatever it is. They notice you reaching your potential, reaching your capabilities, but you don't always see it yourself. You don't always see the progress you're making, and you sometimes don't hold yourself back, but like kind of don't see it because the insecurities are clouding your vision in some way where you're not seeing your true progress. But this person is noticing your progress and how you're just overall becoming better, more talented, like reaching your potential. We have the Lovers. So something about a romantic connection. We have the Chariot. And we have the Hangman reverse. And if it's not a romantic connection, then just a connection in general. They could be noticing something about another person's connection or something about your own connection with each other. So for some of you, this could relate to what I said before, you detaching from a specific person that you just see isn't changing. For some of you, it's like you becoming closer to a person, the person bringing out the best in you. I guess just take it how it resonates. I heard fallout. So maybe for some of you, you fell out with a specific friend, lover, someone that you were very close to before and now you're no longer close to. It seems like you and this person had a lot of issues that you just couldn't overcome together, and these issues kind of built up and stacked up on one another, and These issues kind of played out for a long time. You tried to make it work for a long time, but it just wasn't working. So this person's noticed you fall out with somebody. Take that if it applies only. For others of you, maybe you experienced issues in a connection for a while and you overcame it together. You kind of like stayed strong together, sticked with each other even through thick and thin, and you have slowly but surely overcome that together. So there's two different variations of the energy there. Someone has like recently made some kind of achievement. Or like I said, you've become more talented lately at something you're doing or a skill. Or you're on the right path to success of some kind, whether that is success in your career, your relationships. Someone is noticing that you're on the right path, that you're headed in the right direction, and that if you keep going, you will reach, I want to say like the right place or the right direction. They notice that you are probably going to get like very unexpected blessings. I don't know how they notice that, but maybe they just see it for you. Someone here has become a lot more busy and productive lately. Someone here changed a habit or behavior that was very hard to change, or you are in the process of trying to change something about yourself that is sort of set in stone, ingrained in you, that you don't want to have that habit anymore. You don't want to be like that anymore. Something about that is showing up here. So now I'm going to remove these tarot cards and basically just channel any other information about what they've recently noticed about you and write it down for you. So I'm seeing honey on somebody's lips, which is making me think of, you know, those spells people do where they put honey on their lips to make like a person fall in love with them. Maybe someone here did like some kind of love spell, but it's also reminding me of speaking sweetly, because honey reminds me of sweetness and on the lips speaking. So those two energies are showing up. Take what resonates. Don't mind this. This is pile 1 and 2. So love spell or speaking sweetly. So if you did do a love spell on someone, maybe it's working. Maybe they're seeing the results of that. Like if you told the person. Okay, someone that you dislike is looking very uncanny valley, I hear. It's almost like this person you don't like creeps this person out. Seems strange in some way. For some reason, I'm seeing that series, My Name is Earl, or movie. I don't know if it's a movie or series, My Name is Earl. I don't know if there's a message in there for you or what. I don't know why I'm seeing that. I'm not seeing like a specific scene or anything. I'm just seeing My Name is Earl. I think it's a movie or series. I'm seeing a birthday party. Someone here could have a birthday soon or recently had a birthday. Maybe they noticed something about the decorations, your cake, the way you were dressed. Because I'm seeing like birthday balloons, which is why I'm mentioning decorations. You could have kind of like gotten in touch with more like sports that you like. Seeing like someone that's very sporty, or just like trying out new sports if they're not sporty. I'm seeing tennis in my mind's eye. I'm hearing make-believe and manifestation. So someone is sort of playing make-believe where they are acting as though their manifestation is already here so that they can sort of embody that energy and start like reframing their subconscious mind to believe that they already have this thing, that they're not in this energy of lack. So this person has noticed you be nosy or be in somebody else's business. Maybe it could be like you liking to hear somebody else's tea or gossip. Maybe it could be you literally sticking your nose in someone's business. I'm also seeing the Pisces symbol in my mind's eye. I'm also seeing a doll, so maybe you look like a doll or you just seem perfect in some way, like a pretty doll. Even if you're a man, maybe there's just something about like you just having this perfect kind of look in some way, like pretty boy kind of look, okay? So someone here is a lot less restrictive with themselves when it comes to food. So maybe someone here was on some kind of strict diet, or maybe you had a bad relationship with food, and I see you like maybe just balancing it out more, like allowing yourself to treat yourself to sweets once in a while, but also just balancing it out to be more healthy and not being so restrictive or hard on yourself. Maybe someone's becoming more comfortable with their body, their own weight in some way or something like that. Someone is stepping into main character energy and making your own rules, not following somebody else's. I'm hearing Scorpio as well. This could be your sign, their sign. They notice something about your cleanliness or hygiene. Also, I'm seeing designer brands. I don't know if someone here likes designer. Like I'm seeing that brand that goes like YSL. I don't know if it's actually called YSL, but I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. I'm even seeing like nice claw clips. Someone here could wear nice claw clips. I'm hearing the word independent, so you could be becoming a lot more independent, looking after yourself, being a lot more self-sufficient lately. I'm hearing like I can take care of it. I got it. You either are a very organized person or you've been organizing lately. Something about your accent. Something, this message is making me laugh. So I'm seeing that someone you hate is kind of like doing very badly right now. I don't want to use the word hate, but I'm literally seeing the word hate in my mind's eye. Someone you hate is doing very badly at the moment. Something about you taking up more space, being more loud, being a lot more unapologetic. Not apologizing for your existence. Not apologizing when you don't need to apologize. And when I say not apologizing, I don't mean it like, oh, you did something wrong and you're not apologizing. I mean like, maybe you always apologized for everything, for even just taking up space, and now you're not doing it. For things that you don't need to apologize. Hopefully you can see this. I'm trying to put it more in frame. And I'm hearing being a lot more frank, like a lot more blunt, and acting on your wishes or hopes. So no longer just dreaming about something, but finally taking action on it. So feel free to screenshot this if you want. I also see someone like eating a lot more spicy food, but there's no space to write it there. So, yeah, that's what I have for you. I do hope this reading resonated. Let me know how this resonated down in the comments below. If you'd like to check out my memberships, then you can. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time.